Good morning and welcome to In Session. I'm Mike Brooks in for Vinny Politan, who's on assignment. We begin with new developments in the Joran case in Peru. Peruvian and Aruban authorities are finally working together in the hotel murder investigation. They hope the cooperation in the Stephanie Flores Ramirez case will lead to new information about the disappearance of Natalie Holloway. In Session correspondent Jean Casares is in Lima, Peru. Jean, what can you tell us about the legal process that's going on right now and that Joran faces?
Well, good morning, Mike. You know, there are a lot of similarities to Peru, to the United States here in Peru, but there are a lot of dissimilarities also. Let me tell you what is happening now, because it's fascinating. Although the prosecution has the case for Joran Vandersloot, they, in fact, virtually turn it over to the judge. It's confirmed as Carlos Morales Cordova. And this judge is actually the one that will do the fact-finding process from here on out.
Wow.
Prosecutors will too, but it is the judge that is the one that will do the investigation. He will receive reports. He will ask for things. And he is the most important part of this entire process. You know, in the United States, you get a really good defense attorney if you are a defendant. Well, you want to get a good defense attorney here too. But more than that, you want to get a very good judge, because he is the focus of this. Now, within the next 10 days, and we have to backtrack that from last week, Joran Vandersloot actually will have to appear before the judge to give a statement to him. Now, he cannot decline. He cannot refuse. This is under Criminal Procedure Code of Peru. He's got to appear before a judge within 10 days of the prosecutors getting the case.
So when do you think that'll happen, Jean?
You know, we're waiting to see a timeline for it to come out, but if you take 10 days from last Thursday, that would be the end of this week, or actually Sunday, but they don't work weekends. So it's going to be very soon, Mike.
Yeah, it's going to be very interesting. Now, Vandersloot's private attorney in Peru announced that he was quitting the case on Monday. Now, Vandersloot has had a new public defender appointed now, though we don't know who it is. How will that affect all these upcoming proceedings, and will it have to push it back, Jean?
I don't think so. I think it will just go on because we're in the procedural aspect now. I think it will go forward. Remember, Joran Vandersloot can't refuse to give a statement to the judge, as he's going to have to do very soon. And we have confirmed that he does have an attorney. He's got a private attorney that was appointed for him, we believe. We believe that money was not exchanged hands, because just as you have in the U.S., there's a list of private attorneys that the court can appoint when necessary. A lot of rumors going around here about who it may be, but thus far no names have come out and have been able to be confirmed.
Now, maybe he doesn't want his name out there like the other guy did. Well, also on Monday, Nancy Grace spoke to a friend of Vandersloot's on our sister network, HOLand. John Ludwig says Vandersloot's nothing like his portrayal in the media. Take a listen.
What the media portrays him as is far from the truth. He's a good person and a good friend, and he's not the serial killer, sociopath, psychopath the media makes him out to be.
Now, Gene, this guy apparently has only known him, I think we were talking last night on Prime News, about 3 months. No, but, you know, does this make any difference? I don't think so. But, Gene, he has had no visitors down there, and has his mother showed up yet?
No. He only had one visitor on Sunday, and that would be his lawyer. Visiting days are Saturday, Sunday, and Wednesday, so today is a visiting day. But no, his mother is in Aruba. She's not here yet. We've heard she wants to come, but she isn't here yet. And, you know, one thing, it takes money to come all the way from Aruba to Lima, something that Joran Vandersloot said in his confession, that he came here with $25,000 in cash.
Well, Gene, keep up the excellent reporting. You're doing a great job down there. It's good. We're very lucky to have you on the ground down there. Jean Casares will be getting back to you a little bit later.
Thank you, Mike. Good to talk with you this morning.
Thank you. Now, joining us from New York is In Session legal contributor Sonny Hostin. Sonny, you know, we heard from this guy who is the friend of Joran Vandersloot. He's not the sociopath that the media is making him out to be. What do you make of this?
Well, it's really fascinating because not only has his friend come out, this gentleman, and said, he's a great guy. There are several women that have come out and have said, he is a nice guy. I used to date him. He's not this sociopath. But I think it just goes to show you that perhaps he is a person that has several different faces. I mean, he appears to be quite charming. He was able to charm Natalie Holloway. He was able to charm Stephanie Flores. And in my experience, and I'm sure it's the same as in your experience, Mike, that is sort of the quintessential definition of a sociopath and of a serial killer. Ted Bundy was extremely charming, and many people thought he was a nice guy. So I think the fact that these friends are now coming forward to say he's this wonderful person just really completes the picture, or starts completing the picture of who this person really is.
It really does, because it seems like he is just the chameleon, can fit in any social circumstance. And apparently when he got to Peru and he went to the Atlantic City casino where he met Stephanie, he met her a number of days earlier, Sonny.
Exactly. Again, probably quite charming. He, if you've seen some of the interviews of him since he's been in Peruvian custody, he actually speaks the language not very well, but well enough. And so you imagine someone that, he's quite good looking, walking around, looking a bit different. He's very tall, and speaking the language. I can see that he could be someone that a woman perhaps would trust. And look what happened to Stephanie Flores.
Yeah, it's interesting when we looked at that initial video of her coming up to the table, shaking hands with him. It looked like maybe they had just met then, but apparently not, because they had met a number of days earlier. Now, Sonny, the legal system in Peru, as we were just hearing from Gene, it's interesting. Now it's up to a judge, so I guess it's almost similar to the United States here, where they will have investigators like we would have here for the DA's office, but I guess they have investigators for the judges.
Yeah, absolutely. And I think it is interesting because some folks in the United States, many of us think, that other courts are so dissimilar to our own. And actually, by all accounts, the Peruvian system is quite sophisticated. But a bit different. I mean, if he goes to trial, he will not be tried in front of a jury of his peers. He will be tried in front of a panel of judges. Right. And so that also is quite different. But that does not mean that it is unsophisticated or that, the process is corrupt.
Not at all. It's apparently a 3-judge panel. But, but I still find it interesting that this is now apparently his 3rd attorney. Remember, he had a public defender who his attorney, who he got the new one, then who was with him when he made the long, lengthy confession, said, oh, well, the public defender was friends with the cops. Then he had this one who just resigned on Monday. Now he's got a new one. Here in the United States, though, Sonny, if he was assigned a new attorney, they probably push the case back a little bit. But here, it's at 10 days, so we may see him in front of the judge by as early as Friday.
I think that's accurate. And again, here, it's not that easy to withdraw as an attorney, as you know, Mike. I mean, if you're representing someone, if you want to withdraw, you have to make a motion to the court. There's sometimes a hearing on it. The other side gets to respond. In this case, now you've got he's on his 3rd attorney. And I really wonder, why is that? Is it because he's being a difficult client? Is it because the pressure in Peru for justice for Stephanie Flores is so strong that attorneys don't want to touch this case? I don't know. I think it's a fascinating turn of events.
It really is, because now the new attorney, he doesn't want his or her name out in public because there's a possibility of threats. And, and they say, well, Joran is in this high security area of the Castro prison with this one other alleged Colombian hitman, and he's getting meals that the people who work there in the jail would get, and not the ones from the prisons, because that says to me, Sonny, they're worried about someone possibly poisoning him.
Oh, they're absolutely worried about his safety there. I mean, my former au pair is from Peru, and she's a teacher, and I've spoken to her several times just to sort of get an idea about what the climate in Peru is right now about this case. And she said everyone is very invested in it. It's usually on the front page of every single newspaper, first thing in the morning. Everyone is following it, and he is basically the most hated man.
We're running out of time. Mike Brooks is beginning to sound like Nancy Grace. my opinion.